Okay, folks, here we are with the Excel Chapter 1 Capstone exercise. I've got the file open. It's called Ticket Sales, and we're going to start off in step 2, where we're going to merge and center the title over the range A1 to G1. So this is the title here. We're going to highlight all the cells between A1 and G1. And to merge and center, there's the Merge and Center button here on the Home tab, so I'll click that. And now it's merged and centered. We're then supposed to change the font size to 20. Just like in Microsoft Word, you can do that in the Home tab. And finally, change it to purple. So we can change that here. Let's close that. Then we can move on to step 3. Well, we're supposed to type 4/16/2021 in cell A2. All right, 4/16/2021. And when you're done typing in a cell, you can hit Enter or Tab to get out of it. We're then going to apply the long date number format, which includes the day of the week, just so you know. So we'll take that, and this is our number formatting area on the Home tab, and we're looking for long date, which is right here. Choose that. So what this is showing here with all the hashtags is that the stuff that you've typed in is bigger than the cell can show. But we're about to fix that, because first we're going to apply note cell style. So cell styles live over here. Whoop, wrong spot. Cell styles. Right here. It's looking different on my different screen. So in the styles area, if you do the down arrow with the line on top, you'll find note here. It's yellow. And then we're going to merge and center that from A2 to G2. So I'm going to click and drag A2 to G2 and then merge and center that. And there we go. So that looks a lot bigger. And now that the cell is wide enough, you can see all the data that's inside. Step number 4, we're going to play with margins. And to do that, you go to the Page Layout tab. And a lot of the time, it's just easier to go into the Page Setup dialog box by hitting this bottom corner button. So I'm going to go into there. And we're told to set a 1-inch top margin. So I'm going to go to the Margins tab here and change the top to 1. It then also says center the worksheet horizontally between the left and right margins. So that's center on page here. We're doing it horizontally. So you can see in kind of the demo, it shifted over a little bit. So we're done in there. So we can hit OK. And you won't notice anything happening in here, but when you print it, you'll see the difference of the things that we just did. Moving on to step 5. We're supposed to insert a footer with some certain text. So again, in the Page Setup dialog box, the same place we just were, we're going to choose header and footer this time. And so you can see what's in the header and in the footer, because when you're normally viewing your page, you can't see it. And we're going to do a custom footer here. Then you can dictate what goes in the left, center, and right. And we're told to type in Exploring series in the left. In the center section, it says insert the sheet name code. So all of these buttons here give you little codes that it's kind of like the document properties where they would automatically fill things in depending on your document. So sheet code is right here. So insert sheet name. So the name of the sheet will show up in the footer if you print it out. And then on the right, we're supposed to do the file name code, which is this one here that looks like a Excel file logo. Right? So that's what it should look like when you're done. You can hit OK and OK again. Well, you can see actually that it's in here already. Because the file name's so big, it overlaps the sheet name, but when you actually print this out, it should be fine. So hit OK. So there we go. That's step 5. Step 6, we're going to insert a new row above row 9. So when you're inserting rows, you want to highlight the row where you want the new one to go. So we want a row to be in row 9. So I'm going to highlight row 9 go back to my Home tab, and you'll see Insert over here on the right. If you hit the down arrow, you can insert cells, but we want to insert a whole row. So we're going to hit that. And now we have a new row here where we didn't have one before. Okay. So we're then supposed to copy the data from cell A5 to A9. So A5 is orchestra front. I'm going to do Control C to copy. It's supposed to go into A9. So I'm going to click on A9 and hit Control V to paste. Okay. Then change the data in cell A9 from front to back. So instead of orchestra front, we're going to call it orchestra back. So I did that by just double clicking into the cell, and then you can start editing the text. When you're done, you can hit Tab or Enter to exit out. Okay. On to step 7. We are then told to indent twice the data in ranges A6 to A8, A10 to 12, and A14 to 17. So when we're talking about ranges, A is the column, and then 6 to 8 are the row numbers. So A6 to 8 is this. We're supposed to indent twice. Indenting is here, just like Word kind of had it. So I can bam twice. Supposed to do the same from 10 to 12. So that's here. 1, 2. And then lastly, 14 to 17, which is here. 1, 2. Okay. Then we're supposed to change the width of column A to 18. So the easiest way to do this is you click on the heading of the column. You should see that it highlights the whole column, and right click on it, and you can get column width in your right click menu. So I'll click on that, and then we'll change this to 18 as instructed. So 18, hit OK, and you can see that it made it a little bit bigger. Then we want to use the format painter to copy the formats in A4 to the range of B4 to G4. So A4 is formatted like this, but you can see all the rest of them headings aren't done properly. So we're going to use the format painter. So click on the cell that you want to copy the format, and then click on Format Painter button, and you should see the dashing happen, this go gray, and then click and drag all the way A4 to G4. Okay. And there you can see all our formats have copied across. Then in step 9, we're going to wrap the text. So I'm going to highlight this entire row, and wrapping text means that things don't run off the side of your cell. They stay, it just makes the cell bigger, so it'll show it. So I'll click wrap. You can see it bumped down, gave an extra line. We're then supposed to horizontally center the labels. So I can do that here using my Word formatting. Okay, that's done. And then we're supposed to set the row height of row 4 to 30. So just like the column, when you click on the column heading, click on the row number here, right click, and row height. Okay. We're supposed to make that 30, so I'll put 30 in there and hit OK. All right, so that's it for the first page. Moving on to the next page, we're going to change the word purchased to the word sold, and we're going to use find and replace to find everywhere it says purchased and change it to sold. So to do that, hit Control F, and you'll get this find and replace window. We want to go to the Replace tab, and we're looking for purchased, and we're replacing with sold. Make sure you get the capitals right. And because we want to do that to everything, we can hit Replace All. Made 3 replacements, and then you can close. You can see now sold, 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 all the way. Okay. Number 11, check the spelling in the worksheet. So Review tab, just like Word, and spelling. So it says sometimes if you're at partway through the document, it says, do you want to start from the beginning? Yes, you do, to make sure you check all the spelling, because it starts wherever you've selected and goes down. Well, we want to still do the stuff up top. So I'll hit yes. Okay, it looks like section is spelled wrong. I'll change that. Looks like percentage is spelled wrong. I'll change that. And that's it. Okay. Now, step 12 is where we do our first formula in Excel. So we're supposed to calculate the percentage sold in E6. So I'm going to go to E6. by dividing the seats sold by the seats in the section. So whenever you're doing a formula, you start by hitting your equals key, and then you can start clicking on the cells that you want. So I want to divide the seats sold right here. So I'll click on that, see how C6 fills out. Hit my backslash button, the same button as the question mark, which is dividing, and then I want to divide it by seats in section. So when you're done that, you can hit tab or enter, and we've got basically a percentage there. Okay. We're then told to copy the formula to the range of E7 to E17. So the easiest way to do this is click on your cell with the formula, and you can see that there's a little square in the bottom right. If you hold your cursor over until it turns into a black plus, click and drag, this will fill the formula all the way down. So now here, it's dividing this by this, this by this, this by this as we go down. Okay. And then because E9 and E13, these are heading rows, there's nothing there, we'll just hit our delete key to make those go away. Okay. We're then going to do step 13, where we're calculating the percentage not sold in cell F6. So that's here, by subtracting the percentage sold from 1. So again, a formula. So we're subtracting it from 1, so we got to do 1 minus percentage sold. So I'll click on that and hit enter. Okay. Copy it down F7 to 17. So again, bottom corner, black plus, click and drag, and then delete from the rows where there's no data. Okay. Step 14, we're going to calculate the gross revenue in cell G6 by multiplying the seats sold by the price per seat. So G6 is here. Again, start my formula with an equals. I am told to multiply seats sold. So that's seats sold here. Multiply is the asterisk or shift 8. And supposed to multiply by the price per seat, which is here. I'll hit enter to get out of it. Then we're supposed to fill this one down as well, just like before, and delete the formula from the rows that have no data. All right. Now we get into formatting, because you can see our numbers don't look that good. So apply counting number format with 0 decimals to D6 to D17. So D6 to D17. So on the Home tab is where all of our formatting is. And a lot of the times it's easier just to go to the dialog box here in the corner. So I'm going to do that. And here's all our formats here. So we want accounting. Shows you what the preview looks like. And we want 0 decimal places. So I make that into 0 and it'll look like that. When you're done, you can hit OK. And now that looks a lot better. Then we're going to deal with the percentages. So E6 to F17. So E6 to F17 is the percentage sold and percentage not sold columns. And we're going to do 1 decimal place percentages. So again, number format dialog box, bottom little corner, percentage, 1 decimal place. So it looks like that. Hit OK. That looks a lot better. Then we decide, oh, and I missed something a little bit earlier, where I'm supposed to turn format. So also the accounting number format in step 15 for this column here. So I've got to do that. Accounting format, no decimal places. It's supposed to be the same format as this one. Okay. So in step 17, we're supposed to insert a new column G. So to do that, highlight column G and do your insert sheet columns here, Home tab still. Okay, so now we have a new G here. Select and move D4 to D17. So D4, D17, highlight. I'm moving it so you can click on this outside rim until it shows the arrows and drag it. That works. You can also cut and paste. That works. Any way you want to do it just to get it in here. And then we're going to delete the new empty column D by highlighting column D using the heading. And I can go to the delete button, delete sheet columns. There we go. Looks better. Now in step 18, we're going to center horizontally the data in B6 to C17. So B6 is here, C17 is here, and we're going to do it horizontally, which is our center alignment button. Okay. Then the data for D6 to E17, so D6, E17, all the percentages, we're going to apply right align, which is this one, and then we're going to indent twice. So indenting are the buttons here, bigger indent, this one, 1, 2. Okay. On to step 19, we're going to apply outside borders to A4 to G4. So A4 to G4 are these ones. And here's our border button here in the font area. If I hit the down arrow, I can choose outside borders. So I'll click that. And now we've got a border around the outside here. We are then supposed to do that for A5 to G8. So A5 to G8 is that section. I can hit the button, it's saved my selection. We're then supposed to do it to A9 to G12, which is here. Do that section. And then A13 to G17 here. And do that again. Now we can see we've got nice borders all the way through. On to step 20, we are going to rename the sheet as 4/16/2021. So to do that, you can right click here on the sheet and choose rename and then just start typing 4/16/2021. When you're done typing, you can just click anywhere else and it'll lock it in. We're then going to copy the worksheet and place the duplicate to the right and rename it. So to copy a worksheet, right click on your sheet name and hit move or copy. We're then going to move it to the end, which puts it to the right, and create a copy and hit OK. We're then told to rename that to 4/17/2021, so I can do that. So I'll change that to a 7, get this 2 off the end. Perfect. So now I have a new sheet, which is the same as the last one. And it says, I want to use the duplicate worksheet to be ready to enter data for April 17th performance. So change the date in cell A2 to 4/17/2021. So I'm going to click on the cell and change this to 17 and hit enter. And then I'm going to delete the values C6 to C17. So C6 to C17 are these ones. Hit the delete key. And you can see now it's ready for me to, it's basically a template now that I can use to refill for the next day. So that's it for the capstone.